Before suns and moons and light, there was a great emptiness that did not know itself. It had no eyes to see itself, no hands to feel its face, and no tongue to taste its breath. So from the center of this beginningless awareness, an invisible flame burned into being, and from its warm heart came the light. And so it was that the first light came to be. The light announced itself at the center of a boundless ocean of emptiness, and its long rays reached into the void and found no end to it. And so it was that the light's desire was to give warmth, and with its rays it caused the darkness to huddle around it, and so was made the first other, and with it the first shadow. The shadow was of the light as much as anything, and bearing a great love for it, the light searched the dark for secret cause, and brought wondrous forms into being. It warmed these countless things and brought them into being, and the light forever washed over them. Soon, the great emptiness was hardly emptiness at all. The great sea was now filled with forms and light, and the emptiness sat beneath it all and knew the joy of creation and of being its source. Motivated to give illumination and warmth to all things, the light divided into many stars that were no smaller or larger than the light when it was one. The stars each had their own rays and gave warmth to many distant spheres, the faces and forms of which remain unknown to the folk to this very day. And as the Madrid worlds began to glow with light, the stars felt love for what they lit, and care for all within the light gave up their most precious radiance. Those rays became flowing serpents, and those serpents the custodians of our world. The 8 longest and most radiant serpents forged from the light's very heart, the 8 keys that can unlock those secrets of creation that had been hidden since time without beginning. And each serpent but one bestowed their gifts in turn, and there was no world that was more serpent-blessed than our own world that was. Touched by each key in turn, it flourished in the display of countless things, and, most curious among these things, humanity. The luminous guardians cared for all the starlight shone upon, and humanity manifested wisdom and civilization upon its world, and amidst towers and temples, turned its gaze to the heavens. And so it was. And humanity proved wise, and humanity proved cunning, and humanity proved kind, and humanity proved strong of will, and humanity proved persevering, and humanity proved powerful. And in this way, humanity earned their initiations through ordeal and the revelation of mysteries. It was by these virtues that the light serpents considered the fate of humanity. Was it time to reveal unto its sovereign race the keys and secrets by which they were made? 7 felt no, but 1 stood against 7, and said that humanity had earned its place, earned its turn to take up the keys so it may choose its place among the stars. But it was even this dissonant serpent that warned of the 8th key, the black key, a forbidden key. In turn, humanity made quick use of the keys, adorning its world in splendor and wonders exceeding all dreams and aspirations. Despite such glorious power, the mystery of the black key proved too great to go unraveled, and so it was that the world that was unmade. The sky was black, and the sun was at its center. Space undid itself around the edges of that great white disk and fell. As it fell, the world broke, and men were tossed from their temples and clung to the pieces of the shattered world that was. A black of space unfurled beneath us as a boundless sea that still pulses with the dying stars frozen within its murk. And then it stopped. It all stopped. The falling shards of the world froze in their place, and the 7 were made new. It was then that humanity looked down from the edges of its broken world and knew what it had done, and trembled. But even as it feared the dark sea below, A warm light shone on its back, and humanity once more turned its gaze to heaven. Above, more radiant and giving than ever, the absolute light, the light eternal and first, the Overlight, we call it. And it is by its colored rays that you will know your power, O skyborn child.